What's happening, y'all, and welcome into the house here on houseofsparky.com. I'm Blaine McCormick.
Blaine.
He's Scotty. What?
We talked about this. It's not House of Sparky this week.
Oh.
Halloween's coming up, Blaine.
That's right, man.
It's House of Spooky.
Look at this. We've got pumpkins. House of Spooky.
Let's get right into it to start off the theme for today's show. It's Scotty's spooky story time to break down ASU's game against Stanford. Let's see the highlights. Scareford coming into AZ for a Pac-12 matchup. And see, Blaine, we're not the only ones with pumpkins. Now, a love who induces fear and an Eno who's, well, right here. It was an underdog Devil squad hosting a top-tier team who in the past few weeks had been kicked to the green. Though the game started still, it was senior quarterback Manny Wilkins who hit wide receiver Brandon Ayuk for a 51-yard bill. Short after, an ASU field goal gave them a 3-point tall, and despite the spooky setting, things were not so bad after all. But it was costly mistakes and irreversible drops that helped bring the Cardinal back up top. Herm was hot, the pumpkins were about to rot, as it was a 3-point lead that Stanford had got. The second half brought a resurgence to the Devil crew as this Frank Darby 36-yard catch set up the man with the golden shoe. Yes, Brandon Reese chipped in his second field goal of the night to tie up the game and make it a fight. But it were the men in white that took over the light as KJ Costello's spirals were tight and seemingly right into the hands of his receivers. This one from KJ to JJ Arcega-Whiteside as the Nerds' lead grew to 14 quicker than a vampire could bite. But it was the senior whose will was to the test as Wilkins led a fourth-quarter comeback in search of defeating their not-so-friendly guest. Five had nearly 400 total yards in the game, but it was the final plays that proved to be a shame. Poor clock management near the end left the Trees leaving Tempe with quite a scary 20-13 victory. All right, enough rhyming for now as we bring in our guy, Mr. Jordan Palacio. And I'll tell you what, we were told it was a House of Sparky-wide memo to wear some spooky gear today. Jordan comes out here wearing some spicy gear. Take a look at that shirt.
Oh, look at that, right? I saw Migos and I thought I'm going to dress like Quavo today. Absolutely.
Jordan, I tell you, you're looking good. But
Thank you.
The Devils weren't looking good. So help me break it down. What happened?
Well, I think we're going to be taking a look at many
ways to play.
Blaine, you're not you when you're hungry. The Sun Devils aren't them when they're hungry either. Snickers, by the way, my favorite candy. Next game on the mark. It's at home against Utah. Utah is on a roll right now. I'm going with the Sour Patch Kids. The Utes can be sour, but they can be sweet. We've seen them play some of their best ball, some of their worst. If the Sun Devils want to win, they got to come in sweet.
And that defense is pretty tough. They put on us too hot this year.
Blaine, I was always bummed out when I would get Whoppers in my candy. I'm a Tootsie Roll kind of guy. But,
there you go.
Oh yeah, let's go to Eugene, Oregon. That right there is a gobstopper. It's the hardest of all candies because it is the hardest of all games in my eyes for this year. Have you ever tried to eat a gobstopper? It takes forever.
Yeah, sure does.
Yeah, I don't think the Sun Devils can finish that gobstopper and beat the Ducks, Blaine. We all just saw it, that blonde-haired kid with the face for television, right? Well, somehow he's also got the voice for radio and earned himself the Blaze Radio Call of the Week. Let's roll back to Thursday night with our very own Blaine McCormick and relive Manny Wilkins' late touchdown run. Now, of course, that scamper did not prove to be enough for a Devil W, but it was enough for the house. And stay in line with Blaze Radio as Josh Schaefer and Lyle Goldstein are on the call in the Coliseum on blazeradioonline.com. We all just saw it, that blonde-haired kid with the face for television, right? Well, somehow he's also got the voice for radio and earned himself the Blaze Radio Call of the Week. Let's roll back to Thursday night with our very own Blaine McCormick and relive Manny Wilkins' late touchdown run.
Here's Wilkins with the snap, looks downfield, escape pressure, and he's going to run it himself. Past the 10, the 5, going over to the end zone and through the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown, Arizona State. Manny Wilkins doing it all himself as the Sun Devils chip away at the lead, 12-20.
Now, of course, that scamper did not prove to be enough for a Devil W, but it was enough for the house. And stay in line with Blaze Radio as Josh Schaefer and Lyle Goldstein are on the call in the Coliseum on blazeradioonline.com.
Light joke.
All right, well, I absolutely love that. And unfortunately, yes, it is indeed time for spooky sadness.
Yep.
Devils heading to LA to play USC for one more time. He's Blaine McCormick. I'm Scotty Gange. For our producer, Noah Lau, and everybody here at the house, we thank you for joining us. And most of all, we wish you a happy and most of all safe Halloween. Go out and do some trick-or-treating. It's underrated.